a role model, as a public figure, has a role to play in that. We expect to hold our idols up to the best possible moral standards, and Alan's recent comments are another in a long-standing pattern. We would therefore argue that his position as a public figure, as a commentator, is therefore untenable and he should stand down.
Do you support freedom of speech?
Yes, of course we do.
Isn't he therefore just exercising his freedom of speech? And part of the things that comes with a freedom to speak is the freedom to offend.
Well, I would say that offence comes definitely from the operational freedom to speech. But that being said, I think that Alan has a track record of deliberately partaking in offensive comments.
So in essence then, if what you're saying is correct, and there is some evidence to support what you're saying, what is wrong with that?
Well, I think that Alan, as a role model, particularly to the Sydney University Liberal Club...
Well, he's only a role model to the people that agree with him.
Well, I mean, I think that given the fact that he has an incredibly influential role in society as a long-standing host of his own radio program, means that he should be stepping up and making sure that he conducts himself correctly at all times.
You see, but if he did what you're suggesting he do, I would assume that many of those people that support him at the moment wouldn't support him. I mean, obviously, the people that gravitate towards him now either agree with him or champion his right to hold and express those views. See, at the end of the day, isn't the true petition the survey results on that radio station?
Well, Alan is definitely motivated by only two things at the moment. It's the dollars and the ratings for Alan. What we've done in our campaign is make sure that we're targeting both aspects of what makes sense to Alan. We believe that there are plenty of other radio programs out there that express views similar to Alan in a far more moderate and self-contained manner.
All of them less well received than his program. All of them.
Well, I mean, Alan's built up an incredibly long career for himself.
Do you see the point that I'm making, though? To get it back to your petition, the easiest thing in the world is to sign your petition. You just go on there and put your name to it. More than 69,000 people have done it. I would consider them to be fair weather friends. Not so for you. It's harder to actually establish it and put your name on the line, which you've done. And for that, I would congratulate you because you are exercising your freedom of speech. But do you see that I have no time at all for the people that have signed your petition? It is the easiest thing. They will just graze on something else in a week's time.
Well, look, Paul, I do appreciate that, and definitely it is easy to sign a petition, jumping onto Facebook and things like that. But isn't that exactly what social media is meant to be about? Providing a means for people to communicate more accessibly. What we've seen over the last 48 hours is 69,000 people across Australia and the world as well signing on to say that they believe there should be a higher standard for Alan Jones to conduct himself with.
Then stop listening to Alan Jones.
Well, I mean, that's part of what we're aiming to do. We're definitely looking...
What you're trying to do, you're trying to shut him down. You're not trying to get people to stop listening to him. You're trying to take him away from people so they don't have the right to listen to him. Don't you see that stands in the way of freedom of speech?
No, I certainly don't think it does. Freedom of speech should only come to a point... This is why we have things like defamation laws and things like that. Freedom of speech can only come to a point where you're able to conduct yourself responsibly. You do not have the right to deliberately offend people or... Even on a moral standpoint.
No, you do have the right to offend people. You do. That's what freedom of speech is all about.
We're all human beings, Paul. And at the end of the day, Alan Jones needs to recognise, if he wants to debate Miss Gillard on policy, by all means. That's what I want to see. I want to see positive, constructive debate in Australia around politics. That is absolutely fantastic. What I've seen from Alan, however, are personal attacks against Miss Gillard and the memory of her father. Now, if there was anyone else on the planet, yourself included, for example, who made those sorts of comments, you wouldn't be showing up to work today.
All right, Nick, we'll find out now, legally, just how right you are. I champion your right to hold the views that you do. Nic Lochner, the petition organiser, and you can go to the website and sign the petition if you want. It is the easiest thing in the world to do.